Hey guys, so this is a summary video on Swift Transportation Driving Academy that I should have put up a long time ago, and I did not, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, um, in summary, what happened to me was like a one in a million experience. I had probably 10 to 15 guys that I went to school with at the driving academy that had a great experience. They had a wonderful mentor, and they chose to drive with Swift for quite a long time. And then they moved on, and some of them still drive for Swift, some of them drive for Schneider, some of them drive for a couple of other big trucking companies. So basically, what happened to me was I went to the driving academy, which I've done a couple of videos on previous to this. Um, when I went to the driving academy, I stayed for the weeks that it took, the duration, the different driving practices that we had to do, the parking, the backing, driving down the road, all of that stuff. Um, I was finished, I passed, and everything was nice and smooth. And I got a mentor. My mentor was an older gentleman. Um, he didn't like to let me drive the truck. Now, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I'm a very good driver. I've driven truck before that. Very smooth. I can shift anything, any transmission setup, doesn't matter what it is. My grandfather taught me to drive a truck by putting a bowl of soup on the dash, and if I spilled the bowl of soup, that's basically how it worked. So I learned to drive that way, which is a pain in the ass when you spill the soup and you got to clean everything. I only spilled it twice. So that being said, the driver didn't like to let me drive. So in the first 2 weeks I spent on his truck was fairly dirty, and I didn't get to drive very much. So I wasn't racking up the hours needed to be able to go out on my own. I chose because of some personal things that were going on in my life at the time. And my first daughter was very young, and my wife was struggling a little bit. My house had sprung a couple of leaks in the roof. Things just weren't going very well at home. I decided to part ways with Swift. Nothing bad against them. I just decided that I had obtained my license, and I paid the money for the driving academy, which was, I believe, $4,100 after everything's said and done. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It's been a long time. And I went and drove for an independent trucking company called Double A Land and Garden. I drove a 48-foot walking floor trailer and a 97 Peterbilt. I chose to go in that direction because I was gone by 3 o'clock in the morning and I was home by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. So it worked really, really well for me. But the driving academy itself, for people just starting out driving truck, the only thing that I would say would be a very beneficial thing for you to do is ask a lot of questions. Observe a lot of different driving styles. Observe a lot of different ways to shift the truck, a lot of different ways to back the truck and to maneuver the truck around things and obstacles and things that you have to deal with. It's not rocket science to drive a truck. It takes focus, it takes a little bit of time, it takes a lot of practice, and it takes some common sense to drive a truck. At the end of the day, biggest complaint that I have of any of the truck drivers that go out to, say, a driving academy and they get their license and they just jump on the road, and I could scream from the mountaintops about this. Some of these morons that I've driven past that have their damn cell phone up like this, driving 80,000 pounds down the road. That's stupid, because it takes 80,000 pounds of pressure moving at a half a mile an hour to crush a car flat for recycling. Look that one up. Now you got 80,000 pounds moving at 65 miles an hour, roughly. Some of them are governed at 68. Some people don't have governors at all, and these people are driving down the road on their cell phones. Not saying it's all of them, but it's a few. And some of these people just need to have a little more respect for the truck that they're driving. But in summary, like I said, the driving academy was great. It was a great way for me to obtain my license. I still have my license. My life went in a different direction. I had an opportunity to do something different. I posted a video on becoming a district manager, working for Monroe and all that stuff. I enjoy that. I've always been a car sales guy, a car repair guy. It's in my blood. My grandfather was, my father was. So I decided to go that direction. But I will always, always, always keep my CDL, because if I ever decide that I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to work around people, I don't want to deal with cars, I don't want to fix things, I don't want to get greasy, I don't want to deal with the corporate aspect of nonsense, I can go get back in a truck any day and go make good money for my family. That's part of the reason I chose it. That's part of the reason I keep it. And I still drive a truck occasionally to make sure that I stay well practiced. So in summary, if you get a good mentor, it's a great experience. I know a lot of my guys that I went to school with, like I said, had a great experience with their mentor. They got their driving time in, they made friends with their mentor, and they drove their own truck very shortly. I spent my time with my mentor. I didn't get along with him real great. He didn't let me drive the truck. We drove through my hometown. I got off the truck. That's what happened with my Swift Driving Academy experience. As far as everything else goes, the hotel I showed everybody. I gave some of what to expect, some of your driving tests, some of your practices that you can get good at. It's all fairly self-explanatory. I know it's changed a little bit since I went, but not a whole lot. But at the end of the day, if you can find a way to do it, do it. If there's a driving academy closer to you, do it. I can't encourage enough of you young people and even people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. You want to get a truck. America rolls because of truckers. Truckers deliver everything we need all over the world. And I'm grateful for every single one of you that still drive a truck. Thank you very much for what you do. It's a service, and it's just something that doesn't get thanked enough. And I think that you guys should definitely pursue it if you want to pursue it. If there's questions about this or things I haven't touched on or questions about driving, there's a lot of good channels out there. The Wright brother is one of them. He was one of my favorites. He started with Swift. He's shouted out to me a couple of times. I've shouted out to him a couple of times. He's got thousands of videos out there about trucking and different companies and stuff that you can go and do and deal with. The Little Guy Show is another one that I followed for a long time. He's a very good driver as well. There's a lot of them out there that drive really well, that have a lot of good things to say, and you can ask questions, they'll respond. You can ask me questions, I'll respond. If there's anything that I missed, let me know. Otherwise, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It's a new channel, and I'm working on it. We'll get there. We got a lot of cool things coming. Thanks, guys.